got your Scorpio full flower moon reading coming up here in just a second. This is going to be covering all signs. We're going to look at how this full moon is going to affect you. As we all know, it's called the flower moon because this is about growth, renewal, and fertility, having to do with the celebration of Beltane for the season of May, the flowering moon, right? So this is also the marking of the gardening season when all of the farmers are doing their planting. This is the launch of putting things in the ground and waiting to see what comes up, how you're to bring in for fertility, for growth. With that being said, my name is Cody. I'm your conscious soul reader. Welcome to my channel. For those of you who are brand new, I appreciate your curiosity. If you're already a YouTube subscriber, welcome back. I appreciate, as always, your continued love and support. Thank you so very much. Over 1,000 and growing. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. This will alert you every time I come live or post content. I go live all the time. If you go to the link tree in the description box, you can book a personal private reading with me through my website there. Also booking mentorships. All the way at the bottom shows you all the other platforms where I go live and post content. Make sure you're following me if you recognize any of those. Be sure you're following me to make sure you don't miss an opportunity to catch me live or the content that I get to post. All right, kids, so we're going to go ahead and jump right in. We're going to go Aries through Pisces. We're going to take a look and see how this full moon will be affecting you. Let's take a look and see what's coming in. Capricorn energy at the bottom. We're going to go right down the line. I'll get all the cards on the table first, and then we will take a look and see what is happening. And we're, again, looking Aries through Pisces. So we have Aries, Judgment, Taurus, Two of Swords, Gemini, Knight of Pentacles, Cancer, the Hanged Man, Leo, Lovers, Virgo, Chariot, Libra, the Page of Pentacles, Scorpio, Five of Pentacles, Sagittarius, Page of Cups, Capricorn, the Emperor, Aquarius, Ten of Pentacles, and Pisces, right here, Knight of Cups, Four of Swords, Eight of Cups, Three of Wands, Six of Swords. Perfect. Perfect. What else can I tell my collective? What else can I tell my collective? All right, Aries, Ten of Pentacles, Taurus, Lovers, Gemini, Ace of Cups, Cancer, Justice card, Leo, Nine of Cups, Virgo, Four of Swords, Libra, the Full card, Scorpio, Judgment, Sagittarius, Emperor, Capricorn, Nine of Pentacles, Aquarius, Queen of Wands, and Pisces, the Devil card. King of Swords, Hierophant, Six of Pentacles, Three of Swords, Ace of Swords, Six of Swords. That was over there as well. Awesome. One more for clarification. What else can I tell my collective? Aries, the Moon, Taurus, Judgment, Gemini, King of Wands, Cancer, Ten of Pentacles, Leo, Two of Cups, okay, look at you, and Virgo, Six of Pentacles, Libra, Two of Wands, Scorpio, Six of Swords, Sagittarius, King of Swords, Capricorn, Ten of Cups, Aquarius, Queen of Pentacles, and Pisces, Ten of Swords, Eight of Swords, Four of Cups, Empress, Eight of Wands, Chariot, Tower, Five of Cups, Libra, Justice card, Four of Pentacles, okay. So Aries, the Judgment card is very, very similar to the Death card. So you're having this awakening within you of this new way of wanting to do things. The moon is affecting you very heavily, Aries, about something completely different for feeling secure. Some of you may be making some big decisions about starting a family or working towards fixing finances so that you feel more secure moving into the next half of your life, the next stages of your life, whatever that is. Some of you could be planning on retirements and looking at new ways to generate money. The moon card has you feeling pretty confused during this full moon in Scorpio. I feel like there's possible misinformation that you could have invested so far incorrectly. Maybe you've been given a lot of misinformation and now new things have come to light. So this is using your level of discernment about trying to figure things out. So this full moon is pushing you to make some big changes when it comes to your family, when it comes to building securities for your retirement. Some of you are looking to build up some inheritance, but this is that legacy money. It also has to do with getting married. Major changes when it comes to your family dynamics, when it comes to your future securities. Okay, so some of you are looking at this more long term. This is future goal setting for you, Aries. Let's see if anything else comes to light that you need to be made aware of. Any additional information for Aries? Queen of Wands. This is Aries energy. So you're going to be utilizing this to draw in exactly what is central focus specific for you. What makes the most sense for you, okay? Because this Queen of Wands is confident in their decisions, and this has to do with centrally focused decisions when it has to do for your best good and what do you need for you to feel most confident. Okay, very good. All right, let's move on to Taurus. So if you are a Taurus experiencing a full moon energy, there is also an awakening with you. You're getting the Judgment card here. Again, the Judgment card is very similar to the Death card in that there is a renewal. This is a death and a rebirth. This awakening within of something different needing to be done. Some of you are at a stalemate here with an indecision on how to build your future. This could be an indecision with a partner. There could be a difference of opinions. I feel like both of you may have a very different outlook on what needs to be done as far as your future planning. How are you going to be moving forward together? Some of you could be deciding to no longer be in a partnership anymore. Some of you are also deciding whether or not it's worth it to enter into a partnership at this time. Others of you are starting to notice couples more, right? Like you feel, oh my gosh, I feel like I could probably be ready for a partnership. If you haven't been able to even fathom the idea of coupling up lately, if you had a long period of being alone, some of you are now awakening to the idea that you might be ready. You might be ready for something new here. That Two of Swords is a difficult decision between continuing on as you are or deciding to invite in other energies, other partnerships. Some of you could be at a crossroad or a stalemate with a partner having to do with work. How to find common ground with your partner. How do you find and come to terms with including your partner and allowing for them to also have a hand in your future planning without getting too far off track? Both of these are about deciding and major decisions, and this is life-changing. And there's just this one little hang up of somebody having a different opinion or a completely different idea. This is the equivalent of one of you wanting to live on the West Coast and one of you wanting to live on the East Coast. Both of them have their positives and their negatives. It just depends. Whoever gets paid more, whoever is most flexible. This is the equivalent of, deciding whether or not to invest in stocks, or are you going to learn crypto? Are you going to try to go a different avenue as far as maybe investing in real estate, or are you going to liquidate and accrue assets? You're just deciding. These are some major decisions right now, and you're at a crossroads with this Two of Swords being the main energy first coming out. So this is awakening a decision that needs to be made. Interestingly enough, we've got the Two of Pentacles back here about not knowing. This is about weighing your options, basically making a pros and cons list about which is better for you. Can I have a little bit more clarity for Taurus? A little bit more clarity. A little bit more clarity for Taurus. Ten of Pentacles. This is that legacy. This is that long-term down the road. This is the best for all, right? Not just for self, but this is all-inclusive. It's not like you're not open to hearing other people. You just want it to make the most sense for everybody. I feel like you're being very compassionate, very inclusive, and allowing for there to be a lot of input, but just don't let it sway you or pull you in too many different directions. I feel like many of you might feel the pressure of making a decision. Some of the stuff you have to act on pretty quickly. The stocks, the crypto, that stuff fluctuates pretty heavily from one day to the next. You have to move pretty quickly, and there feels like there's just this one slight little hiccup. And if you can get to the bottom of the meeting of the minds here, if you can get to the meeting of the minds, find ways for it to make sense. This will help you to clarify this decision that you're needing to make here, I feel. All right, very good. Let's move on to Gemini. Gemini, you all are also future planning. I feel like you've been pretty committed to focusing on what is best for you, what is the greatest for your highest and best good. And by proxy, this has everyone else benefiting, right? I say this often in a lot of my readings. If you're focusing on self, everything in your world falls into place as a result of this. Either things shed away that are no longer vibrating with your frequency, or things come into alignment that you have been manifesting and creating. We have the opportunity for new love. We have the opportunity for something long-term, very dedicated, very committed. Many of you are future planning. This is that visionary. The King of Wands is somebody who makes very sound decisions, but this has to do with you focusing completely and wholly on what is best for self. This is beautiful for Gemini. Gemini is a community sign, right? You're really for the societal inclusivity of everybody. And for you to be focusing on self for a change is that's different. That's new for Gemini, to be centrally focused, focusing on self. But again, by focusing on self, everything in your world benefits as a result of this. It all falls into place. When we're pushing energy outside of us, we fail to generate for self. Everything is flowing away. When we focus on self, everything comes in and draws in, attracts in. Let me get a little bit more clarity for Gemini. What else does Gemini need to know? Four of Wands in the reverse. Okay, so this is a very unhappy household. Four of Pentacles on the bottom. You're not going to be able to please everybody. So it begins with self. There could be a decision that you're needing to make where it's centrally focused, and your household may not come to terms with that right away. Many of them are going to have to adjust to this. Here's the Death card with that Scorpio full moon energy. It's an adjustment. People will hold on to issues, places, things, people, with this inability to truly let go and surrender to the flow of universal movement, that energetic movement of where you are being pulled to. It's difficult for us to uproot and leave all that is familiar to us whenever we are so comfortable. We get into a routine, we start to flow, we start to get this rhythm, and then there is a brand new decision of something that needs to be done. Everything kind of gets flipped up on its end, and now it's not only you, but you're having to try to figure out how to bring everybody else along with you by focusing on self. So I feel like this is going to be difficult for you in the sense that you are very inclusive. You're very for your family. You're for your friends. You're for the workplace. This is about you deciding on what is best for you. And I'm telling you, everything else in your world will fall into place as a result of this. Okay. It is for your greatest and highest good. You need to take this time back to decide. Make those lists, pro and con. Pros and cons list. Weigh it out very succinctly for you. Okay, for self. Very good. All right, let's move on to Cancer. Cancers, you're at a bit of a stalemate yourself, but this is things coming into balance more securely for you because of what you're letting go. I feel like there's this new perspective and this new outlook, a lot more secure feelings with you. I feel like your money's getting back on track. Many of you are making some decisions about what needs to be cut off, what needs to be let go of in order for you to create that security and that abundance here. The cause and effect of you making these great sacrifices at this point, choosing how to look at something differently. I feel like you're taking all of your past decisions, everything that's led you up until now, and using it to your benefit. You're finally starting to figure out how to create long-term security because of what you've been through, what you have sacrificed, and what you're choosing to let go of. This is a completely new outlook for you, Cancer. From this point forward, I feel like a lot of Cancers have been through this very heavy period of change. I feel like a lot of you have already done a lot of purging. You have sat and waited for others to meet you at your level. That is no longer happening. I feel like a result of your patience, I feel like a result of everything that you've invested is turning in your favor here. I can't help but look at this wheel. It feels like a wheel of fortune, like things are finally starting to turn back towards your benefit and towards your security here. You're starting to find ways to build your money. I feel like things are coming back into this balance for you. There's some deep karmic lessons that have been learned, and you're learning how to let go to feel like you are more solid and secure moving forward. What is some more information for Cancer? Ace of Swords. This is a moment of clarity. This is a moment of clarity where you're finally realizing, I no longer need to bring this with me. This is weighing me down. It is tethering me to my past. And now you're finally deciding to walk away. Finally deciding to leave that battle of waiting and hoping. You're deciding to let go. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. This is this new sense of clarity with this untying yourself, and the cause and effect is that you're going to start to feel more secure. You're going to start to see your money turn around. Your family's going to start to feel more solid. I feel like everything's starting to come back together and feel a lot more secure with what you have finally decided to let go of. I feel like this was very tough for you. This was a lot of sacrifice that you have put in, and you're realizing what you are no longer willing to give of yourself anymore. This is the realization about how you're starting to build yourself up more solid for your future. From this point forward, everything is focused on your security, your money, and your family's legacy. This is family legacy. Everything you've let go is going to help you build that legacy even more strong. Very good, Cancer. Okay. Leo. Leo's in love. This is about your home life. Many of you are making decisions to open yourselves up to relationships. Maybe you've done a lot of time where you've worked on yourself. You've been focused on yourself alone, and now you're starting to feel like there is a partnership coming in that is for that long term. This feels like a wish fulfillment. All that work you've done on yourself, all of this focus that you've put on yourself is finally starting to build things up in your world. Everything is falling into place for you. Your partnerships are the exact right choice. I feel like you are seeing things start to finally come through for you. Many of you are ready to start a partnership, Leo. The Two of Cups, the Lovers, and the Nine of Cups feels like you're inviting in love. There is partnerships. There's romantic focus for you. Fertility is the focus for Leos during this full moon Scorpio. What else? Got the Hierophant coming out. So a lot of you have done that deep inner work. You've learned some very heavy lessons, and you're taking this wisdom and using it to create beautiful partnerships. You've had a very successful time of being single, of doing a lot of soul searching, a lot of building, a lot of releasing from your past. And I feel like many of you are finally ready to start bringing in something here. This feels like marriage. This feels like your person, the Lovers, Two of Cups, the Hierophant. This is a successful completion of a single period where you are finally ready to build a partnership. Beautiful. All right, Leos. It's going to be that kind of spring for Leos. I love it. Beautiful. Now we'll look at Virgo. Virgo is overcoming some things here. I feel like you're more focused on what your money is doing. Many of you are starting to focus on work. I feel like your relationships, if anything is not reciprocal, you're not investing in it anymore. You're overcoming this and you're focused on your success. You're focused on your career. You're focused on what you need to get accomplished. The emperor drives the chariot. This is central focus. This is a lot of control over where you're choosing to invest yourself. If it's not reciprocal, you don't spend much time considering whether or not it's beneficial. You're quickly deciding that you're not investing anymore. You're not spending too much time in haste and waiting around for people to return what you're giving. You give very little now. You're going to give just enough to see if somebody is going to return. The 4 and the 6 is 10, right? I feel like a lot of you are done over giving. Many of you are overcoming this need to give of yourself so much that you have taken the back seat to create bonds through that effort of giving of yourself, because Virgos give through acts of service, right? So if you're giving and you're expecting that in return and you're not getting it back, I don't feel like many of you are waiting around too long to look for that reciprocation. You're starting to decide much sooner about cutting off these connections before it gets too depleting on your energy. Okay. I have a lot of Virgo in my chart, and I know this. I do acts of service, and if I give and I do and I provide and then I wait long enough, maybe one day you will finally pick up on it. I feel like many of you are stopping that immediately. There's minimal effort now. You're doing just enough to bait the hook, and if you're not getting any bites, you're pulling your line and you're going to a different spot, to use a fishing reference. All right. Anything else I can tell Virgo? The full moon. Yes, the moon card. This is completely detaching from the disillusion and that need to make it make sense anymore. I feel like you've spent way too much time here, and this is a waste of time for Virgo. Virgo is very conscious of their schedule, of being organized, and I feel like this has caused you way too much time. And a very important commodity to Virgo is their time. And I'm seeing here that this full moon is showing you that if you're spending too much time in despair, if you're spending too much time confused, you're letting it go pretty quickly with that chariot. This is with great authority. I've done enough. That's it. Time's up. Gotta go. Okay, so we're going to look at Libra. We got the Page of Pentacles, the Fool card, and the Two of Wands. Libra, this period of indecision, I feel like you're starting to set some pretty good goals. Many of you have had a lifelong experience up to this point of doing things a certain way, and now you're starting to feel pretty inspired to do something new, something for self. The Two of Wands and the Fool card are showing you're still suffering though with this indecision. The Fool card is requesting for you to have this blind leap of faith. Just make the decision and go for it. This is the current path you're on, or something completely different, something out of the blue, something completely extraordinary, unordinary, something you've never even, imagined could happen. This is something that could take everybody completely by surprise when you do something like this, and this could be a new goal for you. This is something that could take people completely out of left field. I'm pulling the High Priestess for you for clarification. You've been getting a lot of downloads lately. This is this intuitive nudge for you to just be bold, be courageous, go for it, right? Go for it. If you don't do it now, when are you going to do it? And if you spend too much time in stagnation, you may talk yourself out of it, or the moment may pass. Okay, Spirit is asking for you to be fearless, be bold, commit to this decision and this new goal. Really trust in the process here. This is about having faith that the idea has been given to you for a good reason. Now it's time to act on it. It's time to act on it. I have a Libra moon, so I get it. I know about that moment of hesitation and deep contemplation. Is this good? Will it work for me long term? Am I going to regret this later. We've got a 2 here and we've got a 2 here. There's a decision about a path you're choosing. I feel like many of you are trying to lean into this Scorpio full moon and utilize that intuitive nudge and give you the answers, right? I used to do this all the time. I'd say, okay, if I'm meant to do this, give me a sign. Give me a sign tonight, something undeniable. Show me irrefutable proof that this is exactly what I need to be doing. I didn't trust my intuition. I don't believe, the 50 signs I've already received. I want that one more positive affirmation just so I can be sure of my footing. And the assistance of somebody else helping you make that decision, I completely understand. But Spirit is going to be your ally this time. You're going to have faith. You're going to have faith and trust that inner knowing that this is that footing that you're being called to take a leap of faith on. Okay. All right, Libra, very good. Now we're going to look at Scorpios. Scorpios, this full moon is happening in your first house. And again, we've got the third judgment card for the entire all signs. This is the equivalent to the death card, which is Scorpio energy, but this is this awakening, this rebirth moment. You've been called to a major rebirth, and this is exactly what this full moon is all about in Scorpio for you. This is hitting you harder than anyone else, Scorpio. This is some things that you are coming to terms with, that you've left behind, some decisions that you've made that have put you in the position that you're in so far. All of the decisions that you've made, everything that has put you to the point of looking at what you don't have and how do you get what it is that you've always wanted, that you're trying to bring into your life. The Six of Swords is showing a struggle about moving on in peace, trying to move on from some decisions that have been made. I feel like these are some shortcomings. Maybe you have pushed people aside. You have pushed people out of your life. Some of you are trying to come to terms with many of these decisions, how to move on in peace with these decisions that have been made so far. Many of you are looking at the karmic retribution for the decisions that have been made. And this is an awakening. The path has been set. There is no turning back. Now what? Now what are you doing moving ahead? Let's get some more clarification, please, for Scorpio. One more card for clarification. Nine of Cups, Eight of Swords. The Nine of Swords. The Nine of Cups is about protecting yourself emotionally as well. Many of you have shut yourself off emotionally so that you can make these decisions. And I think many of you Scorpios during this time have pulled away from everybody, everything, and everyone to plan, that future planning based on the decisions that you've made so far. Hanged Man, Full card. I feel like many of you are figuring out how to come to terms with the decisions that have been made and how to move forward in peace with the choices that have been done so far, and numbed yourself to it. But now this full moon is bringing everything to the surface. This full moon energy is bringing everything up, and now you're needing to make sense of it. Okay, so this is what that full moon energy is doing for you. You're going within, looking at how to come to terms with the decisions, and then moving forward based on them. Okay. All right, very good. So now we're going to look at Sagittarius. Sagittarius, many of you are making a lot more decisions based on focusing career-wise, work-wise, if it is more structured. The King of Swords and the Emperor are very matter-of-fact. These are boss energies right here. The King of Swords is head-over-heart decisions. This is career-focused, goal-oriented. Many of you could be making decisions regarding your career of what you've always wanted to do. Maybe you could be, tapping back into what you dreamed of doing as a child and trying to figure out how to either add that to your life now or to focus on a career regarding something having to do with that. Like if you've always dreamed of working on cars, many of you are deciding, should I invest in a shop, a body shop? Should I start buying cars and selling cars? Should I look into becoming a car salesman? Should I get a car dealership? Something like that. If you've always loved cars, okay, if you've always loved to be around cars, something like that. If you've always wanted to teach, if you've always wanted to become a teacher, some of you may be considering what it would be like to open your own school. Like you're going above and beyond. There's something here about taking a dream and turning into something very lucrative, very business oriented, making decisions, career focused decisions based on childlike dreams that you've had since you were a kid. Some of you are wanting to bring joy back into your life, and you're doing it through your career, through your decisions here. I love that. Thank you. Queen of Pentacles. You're trying to figure out how to get your dreams to pay you. Yes, you're quite confident that this is the recipe for success, is to create your career around your childhood dreams. So many of you are trying to figure out how to change into a more youthful enthusiasm when it comes to your career goals. How do I take my childhood dream and turn it into something that's going to make me money into my adulthood and forever after? All right, very good, Sag. Love it. Okay, so now we're going to look at Capricorn. Capricorn, you got the Emperor, you got the Nine of Pentacles. How appropriate. Career focused. Career focus. Some of you are thinking about starting a family. Maybe you have worked really hard so far at establishing your career, and now you're turning it to the family focus. Some of you maybe started your family and now you're needing to get that career that's going to help you to build for the long term. What else can I tell Cap? Three of Cups. This is your awakening. This is the fourth Judgment card coming out, which is the equivalent to the Death card. You'll notice that the Death card has not come out. This is that awakening before the cycle is complete. So what are we needing to discard so that we can bring it full circle and have that completion of a brand new awakening to what you're trying to build from this point forward? We've got the Queen of Swords back here about making these new decisions. So many of you are starting, if you're wanting to focus on a family, maybe you've built your career, so you're starting to date. Others of you are starting to feel a lot more confident and excited about focusing on something that feels more lucrative. Okay, Capricorn, I feel like many of you are turning this into either focusing more on your family if you've already focused on career. If you've already focused on career, you're gearing up to focus more on family. Okay. Very good. Some of you may start working with your family as well. Some of you are so close with your family that you'll start a family business. Y'all may start a family business as well. That could be for some of you. All right. Very good. Cute. Aquarius. Oh, Aquarius. We've got the Ten of Pentacles. This has to do with your legacy, that long-term focus. We've got the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. Two different energies here. This is you feeling more confident about what you're investing in. I feel like many of you are starting to invest in feeling more secure for your future. This is future focusing. May I have one more card for clarification? That was the Empress trying to come out. Some of you could be thinking about starting a family. Some of you, if you already have a family, could be thinking about Two of Pentacles. Some of you already have a very structured, very full, focused life, and you could be trying to figure out how to bring more fun. Some of you are trying to figure out how to bring more fun into your life. You're trying to blend the two worlds. Two of Pentacles here is about feeling solid on what you've built. I feel like many of you, if you are a single parent, you could be trying to start dating, and right now you're not really feeling too confident about what's coming up, but you're excited to see where this goes, where your where you're starting to build because of the attention you're starting to get into your life. Some of you are going to start dating if you've already built up your life, if you've already built up your securities. Others of you are trying to introduce fun into your life. You know, things are good. You've built your world up. You're very secure. You're very solid, but fun. Fun is on the agenda. You've already worked hard. You've already built that security. You feel like you've got a good handle on things, and it feels like it's in a place where it's going to continue to draw in, right? Your money is not a problem. You're receiving money. Now you want to start incorporating fun. How do you start bringing in more excitement into your life? Okay, this feels like you're trying to include excitement from this point forward. All right, very good, Aquarius. And Pisces, last but not least, Pisces. Oh, Pisces. Oh, Pisces. We've got the Ten of Swords, the Devil card, and that Knight of Cups. So there's been something here that you've had a difficult time letting go of. You've overcome something pretty devastating recently with this Ten of Swords. I feel like you're getting more encouraged to start to try to figure out how to leave this in the past once and for all, but you have to unchain yourself first. This is about you deciding and putting an end to romanticizing something that you've been through. I feel like many of you are sick and tired of spinning this experience to be something that it wasn't, and you're starting to look at it for what it was. And this is giving you that strength and that courage to identify this for what it was. This is allowing for you to finally start to figure out ways to untie yourself from the past, from your past decisions. So many of you are deciding to finally let go. You're finally deciding to untie yourself here. Ten of Swords, it's over and done. You don't see the benefit anymore of continuing to hurt yourself over and over again with this painful memory. So you're finally letting go. You're making some very positive movements forward away from this. I feel like you're feeling the weight of this chain around your neck, and you're starting to feel like you're excited about getting it off of you once and for all. I can't help but notice this horse back here in the background. It's getting ready to launch. It's getting ready to go. That's your emotional release. What else for Pisces? Emotional release. We got the Temperance card. How do you finally bring things back into balance? I feel like things have been very imbalanced for quite some time. Once this weight starts to feel heavy, some of you are getting excited about what it's going to feel like to finally be free of this, to finally be able to close this cycle down once and for all. The Temperance card keeps flipping over. I feel like this is this uncomfortable place of feeling completely misaligned. And many of you are starting to get excited about what that would feel like to close this down once and for all, close this cycle once and for all, and finally be able to utilize it to help you to pull forward. There's some heavy, heavy, heavy things you guys are letting go of. I can't help but feel like that with that weight of that chain around your neck that Devil card has here. There's some heavy stuff that you're releasing. This is things coming back into balance spiritually and emotionally, but there is work to do. You are still untying yourself here, Pisces. Still untying yourself, but you are doing the work. That Knight of Cups is great enthusiasm. The Page of Wands, that Knight of Cups, I feel like any momentum, any excitement, any bit of love that you're feeling helps it to be easier, and you're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. There's that Page of Swords, the Justice card, and the King of Wands. Okay. Very good. So for the collective, Four of Swords, Eight of Swords, King of Swords, this head over heart decision, right? Finally to make these decisions. What is best for you? Where have you been keeping yourself tied that no longer serves you? Shedding this away. Eight of Cups, these karmic lessons, these major lessons that you're finally getting. Four of Cups is the disappointment of what you're leaving behind and finally releasing yourself emotionally. Emotionally releasing yourself, using these lessons to get more in alignment with what is for your greatest and highest good, Empress. So this is starting to allow for you to see a future coming in that looks far brighter. The Six of Swords, moving on from this heartbreak, finally starting to feel movement happening, starting to feel like you're being pulled to the future, finally releasing everything from your past. Letting go, letting the tower fall, getting new clarity, moving on in peace, feeling very calm about this draw forward to overcome what must have been torn down so that you can rebuild. You have overcome so much. This is that renewal. The tower falls, the earth is scorched, and now new growth can start to bloom. You've spent enough time in despair. You've spent enough time grieving. You've spent enough sleepless nights processing all of this. Finally, time to put this in its proper place. Release yourself from this. Become more balanced. Okay. Releasing, letting go, and moving into your future. Very good. That's exactly what this full moon is for. The flowering is planting the new seeds, deciding what is for you and what no longer is beneficial, what can no longer come with you, what is blocking you and preventing you from evolving. That final evolution, that is Scorpio energy, to become the phoenix, to rise from the ashes and to renew and become what you have always meant to be. All right, collective, if you need to book a personal reading, everything's going to be in the link tree in the description box of this video. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you need to also book mentorships, everything is also going to be there on my website. Going to the bottom of that link tree will show you all the other platforms where I go live and post content. Make sure you're following me so you don't miss an opportunity to catch me live or the videos that I am posting. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you for your follows, your likes, all of your comments, all of that interaction. I'm feeling the love so much, and I thank you truly from the bottom of my heart. I am doing that deep inner work as well. I am right here with you. We are not immune. Everybody is moving forward. Everybody is releasing. This is a collective energy. So know that I am right here with you. I love you. Thank you for watching. Until next time, all the health, wealth, and abundance you can stand. Y'all take care.